Hi, and welcome to the Clarity Cure. I'm so excited you're here. You are in the right place if you're a creative, passionate woman who wants to do good and make the world a better place, but you're unclear about what direction to go in, how to get started, or if what you want will even work. Maybe you've been dreaming of starting that purposeful business or having that meaningful career, but it feels really big and overwhelming. In this video, we're going to make your path way less stressful. I'm going to teach you the 3 key ingredients you need to feel purposeful and have clarity about your work. You are going to learn a quick way to narrow down your ideas and pick a direction for your purposeful career or business, or reestablish your direction if you're at a crossroads. How to feel more motivated and focused to take action on your purposeful ideas, and why you need to align your work with the life you want and how to do that. Before we get started though, let me introduce myself. I'm Amy. I'm a certified coach and a mentor for women who want to change the world. I'm an expert at helping creative, passionate women uncover their voice and vision so they can craft a business and life with meaning. Basically, I specialize in helping badass ladies figure out their life, figure out their work, and do amazing things with them. So before I went through this process that I'm about to take you on, I felt really lost. I had a business I didn't feel super aligned with. I had a day job that I couldn't be myself in. And I had this really deep, painful fear of taking up too much space. I had these secret dreams of what I wanted to do, but deep down, I was afraid my passions weren't good enough, that they weren't valid, or that what I wanted would never work, or it wasn't a real job. So I really wanted to introduce myself with pride, like at a party when someone said, "What do you do?" I wanted to respond with something cool, something I was proud of, something meaningful or creative, but I had no confidence, no direction, and no focus. So fast forward to now. After I went through this process I'm about to take you on, I went from feeling directionless, timid, and stuck to feeling confident, excited, and empowered. Like I was taking action not only toward becoming the person I wanted to be, but also like I was using my gifts to create the kind of world I wanted to live in. So that's what I want to help you with today. This process works at any stage of the game, whether you're brand new and wondering, what do I do with my life? Or whether you're just at a crossroads and wondering, what's next? Don't feel the need to spend more than an hour on this. Of course, you can come back and tweak things when we're finished, but don't get caught up in analysis paralysis or trying to figure out the perfect thing. If you feel yourself getting stuck, write the first thing that pops into your mind and move on. Like I said, you can totally change it later, but let's just get everything out on the page and see what happens. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to Clarity Key number 1. Narrow down your ideas. So if you are anything like me, you are passionate about tons of stuff. So it's really tough to narrow down your ideas and pick a direction. When you have a lot of awareness, it can be both a gift and a curse because it's like, yay, I can see all of the options, but also, oh no, which option is the right one? Which one do I choose? So most conventional advice will have you think, what are you qualified to do, and what are your skills? And that is a useful part of the story, but you are a creative, passionate person. We have to go deeper. So instead of trying to fit inside boxes of what someone else thinks you're good at, I want you to ask yourself this question. How do I want to feel? Logic is important, but for passionate people, passion and emotion have to be a part of the story. If you're not feeling it, you're not going to follow through. So we want to get you to a place where you're not only doing the things you want to do, but where you're also feeling how you want to feel. So for example, I have a former client named Kylie who was this super successful accountant. She made tons of money, but she felt like she couldn't be herself with her team, and she felt like she wasn't really making a difference in the world by crunching numbers. So she wasn't satisfied, but she didn't know quite which path to take. So instead of looking at her resume, I just asked her, how do you want to feel when you're at work? And when I asked Kylie this question, everything sort of snapped into place for her. She said, oh, well, I want to feel proud, authentic, purposeful, valued, engaged. So we were actually able to look for opportunities where she could feel those feelings in her work. And she ended up finding a job at a for-purpose startup where she feels those feelings on a daily basis. So let's make this work for you. Either grab a sheet of paper or the worksheet and quickly jot down all of the directions you're currently considering. Then write the top 5 things you want to feel from your work. Pause the video and just jot down what immediately comes to mind. Okay, great. On that same sheet of paper or the worksheet, make 2 columns. One should say things that inspire and energize me, and the other should say things that drain me. You're going to take a few minutes and jot down the biggest things that inspire you and the biggest things that drain you. Pause the video and jot these down now. Great job. Okay, now take a look at your feelings list and your energized and inspired list. Now you have a gorgeous framework, a set of criteria that you can use to evaluate all the directions you're considering. For example, maybe you're thinking, I might want to start freelancing, but then you look at your list and see that dealing with clients and not having a steady paycheck really drains you. So you might want to knock that option off the list or even just table it for now. So go back to where you wrote all the directions you were considering and take a moment to circle the top 3 directions that are most promising based on the way you want to feel and what energizes you. Pause the video and do this now. Awesome work! So basically, in this first clarity key, we've narrowed down the paths that might be a fit for you by filtering them through the lens of feeling. To get clear on which path to take, you have to get clear on how you want to feel when you're on the journey. Which brings us to clarity key number 2. Get motivated to take action on your purposeful ideas. This is the most important step. Actually taking action on your ideas can be really challenging because that's where the fear pops up. So for you to feel comfortable taking action, we need to ground your mission in something bigger than just you, so that when you do hit roadblocks, you'll have the motivation to keep going. So in this step, we're going to brainstorm about your mission and why it's important in the world. So in a second, you're going to grab your worksheet or a sheet of paper and start brainstorming on some questions. But first, I just want to give you an example. So I have a client named Jenna whose mission is to spread cultural awareness by selling ethical fashions from indigenous cultures around the globe. Her theory is that the more awareness we have of other cultures, the more human beings will understand each other, and the less conflict and violence we'll have. So even though starting an ethical fashion line seemed like this huge, scary goal, she realized it wasn't even about her. It was about the way she was using her skills and passions to make this tiny ripple effect that, the logical endpoint is ending war and violence, which is pretty cool. So because her business is grounded in something bigger than herself, her motivation is actually coming from a much deeper source. So now I want to take you through a powerful exercise to help you reveal your deeper source of motivation. We're going to reveal your big why for this purposeful work. So in a sec, you're going to pause the video and spend a few minutes brainstorming on these questions. No right or wrong. Whom do you feel called to help or serve? What do you want to help them with? If you could solve one problem for the world, what would it be? When this problem is solved, what will change for the world? And why is this so important? Pause the video and brainstorm now. Welcome back. Now I want you to look back at your answer to this question. If you could solve one problem for the world, what would it be? Your mission is the solution to this problem. Now, in just a moment, we're going to get to the how, as in, how will this work? But right now, I want you to just really feel into the guts of why you're doing this in the first place. Take a moment to really feel into this with your heart, too. Breathe it in. What's your vision for humanity when you meaningfully and creatively contribute to solving this problem? Pause and respond on paper or on your worksheet now. So regardless of the form it takes, your direction is directly tied to the solution that you want to create, your mission, your purpose. Which brings us to clarity key number 3, aligning your hustle with your life. So this is everyone's favorite question. Oh my God, how is this actually going to work? So in this step, we're going to align your hustle with the type of life you want to live and the space that you want to take up in the world. So the third key is just making sure that your meaningful work aligns with your juiciest, most exciting, most fulfilling life. Because as much as your mission is about the world, it's also about you. So basically, when you want meaningful work, you have two options. You can either start or join. Starting means creating a for-purpose business or organization or blog, etc., kind of like Jenna did. Joining means getting a job at a for-purpose business or organization, kind of like Kylie did. It's also completely fine to join and learn while you're building your own hustle on the side, or even have some combination of the two. So for example, my client Trina writes a blog about her experiences with postpartum depression so that other women dealing with mental illness won't feel so alone. And she's not at the point yet where it's paying all of her bills. So while she's working with me to strategize on how to monetize that work, she actually has a job at a mental health advocacy organization so she can do something she's passionate about even while she's building her business. So when deciding whether to join, start, or have some combination of the two, here are a few questions to consider. What season of life are you in? How much risk feels okay for you? How much responsibility do you want? Not how much you're supposed to want, how much you really want. Which option best serves your mission? And which option best fits your ideal life? So let's break a few of these down. When you think about the responsibility of founding and running your own thing, your own business or organization or Etsy shop or blog, what immediately comes up for you? Do you feel energized and excited by the total creative freedom and control? Or do you feel like, oh, that's a lot. That's way too much to be in charge of. So there's no right or wrong. It's just about what works for you in your life. In terms of your season, think about where you're at in life. Are you footloose and fancy free? Or are you all about getting that mortgage paid off? For example, my client Trina, she has 2 small kids under the age of 5. So we are figuring out ways for her to pursue her dreams in a way that overall makes sense for the giant context of her life as a mom. For you, this might look like having a bridge job or a part-time job or a remote job, or even doing a combination of starting and joining like she did. So just kind of think through what your responsibilities are and what season of life you're in right now. So now let's create a vision for your ideal life, starting with your ideal day. Grab a sheet of paper or the worksheet and just journal out what your ideal day looks like. What are you doing? When? What are you wearing? Who are you with? And how much money are you earning? How much are you spending? Pause the video for just a moment and jot your answers down. Okay, great. Welcome back. So now I want you to be a detective and look for clues. When you look at your answers, what clues do you notice about whether you should start or join? For example, if your ideal day is all about having total freedom and control over your schedule, you may want to start or revamp your business or organization so that you are completely in charge of how you spend your time. If your ideal day is all about having long, meaningful conversations with like-minded people, you may not want to join a job where you work in isolation or become a solopreneur. So look back at your list, pause the video, and jot down the insights you gained. Okay, great. So in that section, you looked at your personal preferences, the overall context of your life, and whether you're a starter or joiner or a combination of the two. So great work. By this point, we've put together 3 huge pieces of your clarity puzzle. We've narrowed down your ideas by figuring out how you want to feel. We've grounded your ideas in a mission so you can stay motivated. And we decided on how you want to manifest that mission, whether it's starting a purposeful business or organization of your own, joining one that already exists, or some combination of the two. So I don't want you to freak out if you don't have every single answer 100% perfect yet. I'm actually going to send you some juicy stuff in the next couple of days that will help you if you start getting stuck again. This process can bring up both excitement and fear, but I really want to leave you with the truth that if you have a desire to make a difference, it's on purpose. Your passions are valid, and I'm 100% sure that your mission is bigger than your fear. So I'm really proud of you for answering the call and using your passion and creativity to create the kind of life you want and the kind of world you want to live in. So let's pick one action step you can take this week to further your journey. It could be small, like updating your resume, or it could be huge, like finally buying that domain name or rewriting your business plan. Now that you have all this new insight and awareness, don't procrastinate. Write this intention down, and for a little bonus accountability, you can either email it to me or you could share your action step on Instagram by taking a picture of it, tagging me, and hashtagging the Clarity Cure. I sincerely hope that this has been really helpful for you, and I'm really excited to hear about what you've learned. Don't forget that I am totally here for you as you step more fully into your purpose. I'll be back in your inbox in a bit with more juicy soul food and strategy. And if this has resonated with you, I highly encourage you to check out one-on-one coaching or the mastermind for a deeper dive. Whether or not we ever play together, remember, your passions are valid, and so are you.